We have done it. We are here. How are you feeling, man? Are you feeling good about
I'm
being live?
nervous.
I'm a little
I'm
nervous too. You know,
going to
I
an
mean,
audience I've never dealt with before.
yeah. I've never dealt with this situation either, so we've got like a good mutual feeling going on.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I figured this would be fun because we both are always making it to the top of the U show, so we can combine forces and make a super show.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, I've never I recently just tried to start stacking cards,
Uh-huh.
and I've only been able to get as much as like that. Wait, I've only been able to get as much as
I will say it's definitely a good start you have going there.
you were telling me before we started that the why you were telling me before we started that because it's a new deck of cards it'll be harder to stack. Why is that?
Okay, so the ones that I use are like they're not old, they're like a few years old, but they're very well used. And the buildup of number one, like just like the tiny bit of dirt and dust on it, and all the little tiny microscopic imperfections in the cards that helps generate friction and that helps it stay together more.
Hmm.
Um, so if you use like a new deck of cards, like the way that I test them to see if they'd be good is I hold the deck flat on my hand like that and I just start moving it. And if it stays in one block, then that's generally a good sign that it'll have enough friction to stay up.
Someone's asking if it's more stiff in that case.
I don't know. I find that like stiffness is more dependent on the brand and the type of material used for the card. I don't think that use over time will affect it. Um, yeah, I don't know. I should test that.
So this little slant piece that I have going on right now, is it like is that going to be detrimental to
Uh,
what I'm doing, or easy, or make it easier?
um, you mean with the slant of the chair? That
Yeah, the
is
slant of the chair.
that is definitely going to make it harder because one of the like when I build card houses, right? I'll sometimes get up to 10 stories and the cards will the levels will start slanting on their own and it's a very small slant, but that makes it so difficult to build on by itself, just the cards slanting, even if the table is completely level. But I will say the first layer is always the hardest one. So if you can get the first layer done, you're golden.
The first layer is the hardest one.
Yes.
I've been able to get the first layer done, but then when I go to do that card on the top after doing these two little tent poles. What's up, Duckman 9000?
Yeah. Um, I don't know. It's the second hardest part is starting another layer. Um, I mentioned that what holds the cards together is friction, but to generate more friction, you have to put weight on top of the cards. So as soon as you finish like a layer, the more layers you stack on top of that, that'll weigh it down on it, create more friction, and make it more stable. So when you have the two cards forming a freestanding mountain just on the top, that doesn't have any weight on it, and it is going to fall over with time, no matter what.
People are asking what's going on here. We have teamed up to do a stream of stacking cards. You're like, I'm trying to do... I'm trying to do, like, my one layer, and you're already... So you would say that at that point that you're at right now, you've crossed the easiest part, because the first story is the hardest one. Because that's going to be your foundation.
Yeah, I mean, statistically, it falls more on the upper layers, but I call the lowest level the hardest part. Not necessarily because it's hard, but because it's frustrating. Because I remember one time I did a stream, and I must have started the first layer 20 times before I got to even like the fourth layer, and it just kept falling over. So sometimes it really depends on the day. There's no actual skill involved.
Maybe. Go get a flat surface. What, do I have any flat surfaces in my house? Here, why don't I try... Here, hold on. I'm gonna grab another chair. Ugh.
All right. I finished the second layer.
All right, so tell me if this is just as bad, if not worse. This like cushion.
Okay, if you build it on the edge of the cushion, like where it's not as slanted, it'll be a little bit easier, and it's also, since it's fabric, they won't slide as much. Oh, that's a lot easier.
Yeah?
That is definitely a lot easier.
Okay, let me try this now.
All right.
Oh yeah, this is looking a lot easier. Yeah, I feel like the cushion adds a little bit of extra friction for this to be like to hold up this little layer.
Yeah, that's why most people who start on carpets, so, or placemats. Either one works well. I almost started doing streams on a pool table, but you know, I wanted to do it in my room, and that was in the basement. So,
all right, if I can get this when I get this first story in, I'm gonna take some calls.
Okay, I will say one more thing that might help you.
Yes, please.
So, a little bit of slant on that chair.
Yes.
A tiny bit. So I call like these little triangle portions, I call them mountains, right?
Okay.
So if you make the one that's lower on the slant, if you make that one narrower, it'll also make it taller. And then when the one that's higher on the slant, if you make it wider, then you can decrease the amount of slant when you start the next layer. If that makes any sense. I might just be spouting gibberish.
No, I'm sure that would make sense if I weren't a complete card stacking fool.
You are not a fool. You are a beginner. There is a difference.
And you are my sensei. So I want to ask you, David, is there the whole idea behind your streams is, you know, you build up these giant stacks of cards, and then when they topple over, you are still able to keep a giant smile on your face. You know, do you feel like there are other things that you do in your life that are analogous to card stacking?
What do you mean, like I spend so much time on it only for it to fall and crumble? Yes,
exactly.
I don't know. I mean, there have been times when this is the lamest example I can give, but there's been a few times where I've been working on like school projects, and that took a lot of work, and then I didn't get a good grade on it. But I don't know. I'm not sure there's a good analogy that I have experienced in my life yet.
Thank you for the gold diesel blue. Okay. How long have you been doing this for, stacking cards?
So I did it as a child, but I did not get very far.
Did it as a
'Cause
child? Like, how young of a child?
I don't know. I think I was like 4.
4 years old, you were stacking cards.
Yeah, but I wasn't getting very far, right? I was about beginner level. I could only make the first level, and then it would all fall down. And then
I like that you're like you're saying that how you're talking about how not good you were at stacking cards at 4 years old, as if like you weren't good enough at 4 years old.
I mean,
Like you had such high standards at such a young age for this.
yeah, well, it's crazy because I gave up immediately after, right? For years and years, for like a decade, more than a decade, I just didn't try it again. And then the summer after my junior year of high school, I was just like, I need something to waste my time since I have nothing to do. What can I do? Can I build a house of cards? And then I tried it, and it was like that scene in The Matrix where Neo just wakes up and he knows Kung Fu.
Ooh.
It just came out of nowhere. I don't know how I did it. But I built 4 stories, and I just kept growing it. And then I stopped again at the end of the summer because I was not as calm of a person, and I rage quit at like 8 stories.
You must have like I wanted to talk to you about that. You must have like a high tolerance for anxiety.
I don't know anxiety. This is pretty much the only aspect of my life where I am patient.
Really?
I will be driving and I will be shouting at people. Like I won't be aggressive to other people, right? I'll just quietly in my mind just yell if someone does something really dangerous.
Interesting. Because, I would have thought you don't seem like, and you do a good job of like, showing that you're a patient person in life. I would think it would carry over from the card stacking.
Well, I mean, like, I'm not an impatient person. I'm just, there's if I want to be patient, I can be patient. And like stacking cards isn't a frustrating thing for me because it's like meditation.
Yes.
Where it's really relaxing, and then when it falls, it's satisfying to watch. It's like a waterfall, and it just doesn't make me angry.
It's satisfying, so you get active joy from seeing your cards fall.
Yeah, I guess it's more retroactive joy. Like I will feel the joy after the horror of watching it crumble.
Ooh, someone said I have to crimp the cards at the bottom. Let me try that.
That is a strategy that I have not thought of, but you could do that.
I feel like crumping the cards at the bottom is like a novice, get rich quick scheme of a card stacking technique. I mean, okay, I got the 2 towers thanks to Lurch looking MF.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. All right, do you see this little indent here? I don't know if you can see them or if it's been keyed out by my blue screen, but could a card fit on top of there? How do I bridge these two together? Do I put it down slowly?
Okay, so let me think. Because sometimes what works is you balance the card on your finger, and then you just lower it down to rest on those 2 towers.
Ooh, okay, let me try this.
But sometimes that doesn't work, and I'll just like place it down, and I'll kind of force it, not too much force. And it really depends.
This laying it down, is that an advanced technique, or is that something that a novice can do?
It's something anyone could do, I think. I actually cannot do it anymore for some reason. It just after like 7 stories, it just stopped working, and I don't know why. So that's
Okay.
why I had to change my technique.
Let me try this. Let's
did it.
go, dude.
Awesome.
Thank you for the gold, VGA Emerald City. Let's go. I wish you could. I shouldn't have picked blue cards for my blue screen, but here, maybe. Does this work? Can you see it better? These cards.
Is all right.
Totally Rad Brad has a hypothetical question. Get a flat surface for your cards. This is flat enough. All right, David, you want to start taking some calls? How's that sound?
Sounds great.
All right, let's do it. Call in 401-472-GECK. Chat with me, chat with Dave. Do people ever call you Dave, or should we do David?
It probably just David.
Don't call him Dave, call him David. 401-472-GECK.
I mean, you can call me whatever you want, because David isn't actually my real name. But
and Lobster is not your real last name.
No, Lobster is not my real last name.
I will have everyone know that my full real name is Lyle, and you know, if you want to use it to steal my identity or come to my house and kill me, go for it. I don't care. I've lived enough. All right.
So sad.
The line is open. 401-472-GECK. All right, let's see. So I've completed a single story. Let's see if I can accurately... Here.
From
Jerome.
to accept.
Yo, Jerome.
Yo, what's up?
How's it going, Jerome?
Do you remember me, bro?
Of course I remember you, Jerome. Everyone in the chat is asking if I remember Jerome, or I don't know if that was you saying that, but either way, I do remember Jerome.
What's up, dog? How you living?
Yeah, man. So David is teaching me how to stack cards, and I've got one story down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, David's cute.
He's a good guy.
Thank you.
I gotta update you, bro. I got
What's
the coronavirus, dog.
You have coronavirus, Jerome?
I got the virus. I tested positive.
Damn. What's How did you get it? Do you have an idea of, like, you know, what would you, if I were all right, Jerome, if I were a contact tracer, what would you tell me if I were asking you how you contracted coronavirus?
I will tell you that I got it from somebody that lives in my house that went to a bar and didn't wear a mask. And I'm low-key pissed about it. But it is what it is. I get 2 weeks off of work paid, so...
That's not bad.
Good. Sorry.
What were you going to say, Dave?
I was saying it's good to look on the bright side of not having to work.
Exactly. What do you do,
Have
Jerome?
y'all gotten sick? Did y'all get tested?
Have you been tested, Dave?
I have not been tested yet. I have to. Like, when I go back to school, I have to get a test, but I have not been tested yet.
Are you going to school for stacking cards?
Yep. Oop, everything's falling.
Oh, damn, bro.
My card house fell.
Man.
I was pretty high, too.
What are you going to do with your time off, Jerome?
Hang out with my kids.
Nice. You know, card stacking is, you know...
Shit in my fucking bed.
She shit in your bed?
She shit all in my bed, dude. It was so nasty.
Really?
I put her down because she fucking... I went to change her diaper. I opened the diaper, and we have this little baby changing thing for her, and she pissed on me and pissed all over the bed, all over the changing thing. So I picked her up, I wiped her back off with a towel, And I laid her on my bed real quick so I could wipe the damn thing down, and she shits in my bed.
That sounds like a struggle, honestly.
Y'all really invested in these cards, huh? Y'all making me feel like I'm talking to myself.
No, Jerome. Look, Jerome. Listen.
This card stacking shit, it's if I did it, if I started stacking cards, my kids would probably starve to death.
You think kids would starve to death? Your kids would starve to death.
Yeah, cause y'all really into this. I can't I'm talking to a brick wall right now, man. It's sad.
Have you ever stacked cards before, Jerome?
Of course, who hasn't? I used to do dominoes.
I hadn't stacked cards before all this.
That's hard to believe. Never in your life?
Never in my life. I never knew that this was a thing. I didn't even know that this was a thing until I saw David's stream. Well, no, I know that there's the TV show House of Cards. David, do you watch House of Cards?
I have never seen that show in my life.
Never seen House of Cards?
Never. Heard it's amazing.
It's good. I like it.
I heard, like, actually...
It's got a child molester in the show, so you can't watch it now.
It's true.
It's about, like, the president, right? Like, the White House and stuff like that. I think I remember...
Who is it?
I think I remember hearing that...
David Spade doesn't touch little boys. That was
Who?
the wrong person. Kevin Spacey, someone said it in the chat. Kevin Spacey touching on little boys.
That does happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's Dave. It's about the. Well, I only kind of know what it's about from the synopsis, and I think it's about presidents and stuff. Jerome, is it about presidents and stuff?
Yeah, it's politics and the corruption and yada yada yada. It's real good.
This may not be a true fact, right? I heard it from somebody that I know. But supposedly, I think it's House of Cards. I think Bill Clinton watched the show and said that in terms of how accurately it portrays, like, being president, it's like 96% correct.
Interesting. 96%.
What other shows
correct.
do you guys like to watch?
I'm watching Money Heist right now. That's a good one.
I've been doing this stream every night, and afterwards, I'll usually stay up until 4 watching South Park reruns.
That's a good one.
South Park.
You don't watch South
Y'all
Park?
want to know some fun? Have y'all played fucking Ghost of Tsushima?
No, I keep seeing people, like, streaming that game and shit. Have you?
Yeah, the enemies are the Mongolians, and I thought it was the funniest thing when you started seeing all the damn Mongolian memes from South Park. I thought that was
yeah.
What's y'all's favorite scary movie? Someone's asking in the chat.
My favorite scary movie. So I really like the Wikipedia page of Saw. I've never seen the actual movies, but I think the plot is really interesting. And the reason I've never seen the movies is because that puppet guy, he kind of scares the shit out of me. So I can't like look at him.
Have y'all seen Hereditary?
Oh, I have seen that. That was that was the most depressing horror film I've ever seen in my entire life.
That shit freaked me out. I don't even really fuck with scary movies because usually they're not scary, but that shit fucked up.
Yeah. There's a really good one in Australia that I saw. I think it was called Lake Mungo, where it was shot in documentary style. That one was pretty interesting. It wasn't exactly scary, but it was definitely unsettling.
I watched this South Korean movie called Burn. You guys ever seen Burn?
I do not, but I love South Korean cinema.
What other... All right, I'm glad to hear that from you, because actually, after seeing Burn, I want to watch other South Korean movies. Is there anything that I should watch?
Have y'all seen the Japanese version of One Missed Call?
No, what is that?
That shit is fucked up. So I think it's like if you miss the call and then somebody kills you. I think the first one came out here in the States, and then the Japanese made their own little version of it. And that shit, my older brother, when I was a kid, when I'd fuck with him and he beat me up and I'd go to tell my mom, there's a scene in the movie where there's a little girl that got killed and she got her eyes not stitched shut and she got her mouth stitched shut. And that shit was scary as fuck. And he told me that he'd throw me in the closet and she'd be in there if I told my mom.
Damn, so what happened? Did you get thrown in the closet?
Hell no. I fucking ran upstairs and I started crying.
Do you think that was good for your development or bad for your development? Do you feel like
good,
the way that you
now
act...
I can look back and laugh. That shit is funny. I feel bad. Here's a controversial topic.
All
I
right.
feel bad for people that didn't get bullied as kids by their siblings.
That is an interesting... David, did you get bullied as a kid by your siblings?
No, I have the best sister, and like I was. If anyone was the annoying sibling, I was the annoying sibling. I wouldn't say either of us bullied each other.
So you did.
Did y'all ever get spanked as a kid by your parents? Y'all
Yeah,
think that
definitely.
shit's funny?
Do I think it's funny?
Looking back, I think the stuff that I got my ass beat for is so funny.
What'd you get your ass beat for?
I was in a hospital, and I wanted to see
You
how
got your ass
long
beat in a
I
hospital?
could hold my hand, or my hands under water, under hot water, and that water got hot as fuck. So I'm sitting there, I'm trying to test my flame power. So I'm like, oh, how's my heat tolerance? So I'm in the bathroom for like 10 minutes, and my brother comes in. He's like, Mama, what the fuck are you doing? Get back out here. We're trying to leave. So I walk out, and I have my hands in my pocket. My mom was like, why are your hands in your pocket? I kind of looked at her, and I kind of shrugged my shoulders. Like, So she was like, take your hands out your pockets. And I was like, no. And she was like, why? And I shrugged again, and she ripped my hands out of my pockets, and my hands were pink. And she was like, what the fuck did you do? And she pinched the back of my arm, and she took me outside, and then she said, wait till we get home. And then we got home, and she whooped my fucking ass.
Now, why?
No. This is what happened. So we got home, and she made me go help my little brother with his homework. And I forgot this happened, but my little brother told me. He said that entire time I was tripping. He was like, man, you said, you were like, I think she forgot. I don't think she's gonna spank me. So like an hour later, when I finished helping him, he said I went downstairs, and that's when she whooped my ass.
Well, look,
I
Jerome.
flipped my mom off with a fork.
Jerome.
What's up?
Look, you know, I like that you're using humor to cope with the past.
You don't think that's funny?
And not any part in no part of the statement I just made did I imply that I don't think that's funny. I totally think that's funny. I'm just, you know, that was an additive thing.
I mean, ain't nothing to cope with. I mean, that shit's funny.
There's nothing to cope with?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't run my hands under scalding hot water for fucking 10 minutes since then, so, I mean, I learned from my mistakes. Can't blame my mom. I was a dumbass kid. I just did dumb shit.
Well, Jerome,
what were you like as a young little gecko?
As a young little gecko? I used to hit a lot of people, actually. I would spit on people and hit people when I was in, when I was like, what age is kindergarten? Like 6? When I was like 6, I got in trouble a lot for like, hitting people. You know, I mean, look, I'm not proud of it.
Damn. Were they like gecko racist motherfuckers or something? They just didn't like your green skin or something?
No, it was just, you know,
Green Lives Matter type shit?
No, it was just, you know, I was just mean. I was just a mean kid.
Damn.
Well, shit, Jerome, I think we're gonna take another call, but thank you for joining us this evening, and you know,
Of course.
sharing everything with us. I appreciate this.
Don't get spanked, kids.
Absolutely.
Don't wash your hands with super hot water, kids.
Jerome's got a good message.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. We'll talk to you soon. He's gone. 401-472-GECK. Call in.
You seem like a
though?
nice.
Oh yeah, that's your tower's coming in pretty strong, man.
I mean, it fell, so I'm rebuilding it right now.
Hmm.
But
Call from. To accept, press 1.
Hello? Beep noise?
Hello.
How are you doing? Tell us everything.
Yeah.
Tell us nothing.
Alright. So when I was a kid, my dad would like kiss me on the lips, and that traumatized me.
When you were a kid, your dad would kiss you on the lips and that would traumatize you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What about you?
What about me?
traumatized you as a kid?
Well, I already mentioned the puppet from the movie Saw.
that'll do it.
Yeah. How's life?
You know, life... You mean how's life for us, or how's life in general? Or how just, is life?
How is life for you? The way that you interpret it, the way that you look at the world through your eyes.
I think life is full of challenges, but also full of, I mean, look, the whole central thesis, if we're looking into the activity of card stacking, is we build these massive houses of cards known as our lives. And sometimes they crumble, But you know what we do when they crumble?
Start again.
We start again. And what do we continue to stay?
Positive.
Positive.
No matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what.
So do you have like a degree in psychology or something, or what?
What do you have a degree in?
Are you like a celestial being? Can you die?
That's a very interesting question that you bring up. What did you say your name was?
Michael.
Michael, you want to know, can I die?
Yeah.
Well, here's what I'll say to that. If and maybe you'll agree with me on this, Michael. If I could die, would I really want everyone to know? Or would I want to keep that a secret?
I don't know. Wouldn't you want to have a funeral?
Sure.
Yo, you take like long ass pauses.
So?
What the fuck? It's just funny. Because I can't see your face, but I'm imagining your face just staring at me and looking at me while you take those long pauses.
Have we talked before, Michael?
No. I've called like 700 times. This is like the first time you picked up, so I'm actually very happy.
That's good. I'm glad that you're
Made my
happy. I'm glad that this made your day. Have you ever stacked cards before, Michael?
Yes, I have. Have you ever seen House of Cards? Kevin Spacey is like a pedophile or sexual.
Yeah, we did that.
Pills from Kevin make me spacey. Just make me space out. I have a friend named Kevin that has been arrested 6 times and has 2 felony assault charges. And I consider him my best friend. Do you think that
Michael?
bad people can do good things?
Michael?
Lyle.
Do I think that bad people can do good things? I think so. I don't think that what you did in the past defines what you can do in the present or in the future. You know, only God can judge.
So do you think if Adolf Hitler stopped what he did and became a good man, would you forgive him?
I don't think it is my place to do that.
But would you as a person forgive him? Not as an all-seeing celestial God.
Damn, David's stack is getting high.
Yeah.
All right, Michael. We're going to take a new call. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, bro.
I love you. How you doing over there, David?
I'm on level 7. I'm almost done. How are you doing?
I haven't yet gotten to my 2-story. But
Okay.
I have a mountain up. You call these mountains, right?
Yes.
Oh, got another mountain. Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
You're almost
All right.
there.
We're exactly almost. I'm halfway there, pretty much.
You're more than halfway there because you have 4 cards and you only have 3 left.
I'm gonna use I like your technique of slowly lowering it down.
Mhm.
I'm gonna do that again.
It's like a plane.
Call from. To accept, press 1. To say
Ooh, I like what That Was Informative says in the chat, is that the easiest way to stack cards is with glue. Have you ever done that?
I have never done that, but people keep telling me to.
I would think, like,
No!
I mean... Oh, did it go down?
It did go down. That's so sad, but it's okay.
F.
call from.
Corey.
To accept, press 1.
Corey.
Hey.
Corey, the tower just fell. What do you think about that? Do you think, if we had 2 options, Corey, would we cry and complain and get upset, or should we stay positive and start building again? What do you think?
Well, truthfully, I think neither option is the best option. I think you should just
You know what? That was understandable, but that caller did.
Mhm.
Because, right, wouldn't you say that makes sense?
I would say that makes sense. I have just walked away without crying from a card house before. I'd say that is a solution you can do. Perfectly acceptable.
You know, sometimes you call in and you call out.
From.
The yada yada.
To accept.
What's up, the yada yada? How you doing?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm just stacking this card. I'm gonna see if I can get this. Ready?
Yeah, I am ready.
Oh, hell yes. I have 1 story. I did a 1-story stack of cards.
That is perfect.
I love it. Have you ever stacked cards, yada yada?
I can hear the music tonight.
Oh yeah, that's a new function of Therapy Gecko now, is that the callers can hear the music.
Ooh.
It's not great, but I think it does add to the atmosphere a little bit.
Zion Wolf 24 wants to know what's going on. Yada yada. What do you think is going on in your interpretation?
My interpretation is that I was going to ask you, is there a theme tonight, or is the guest and the card stacking the theme?
You know, now that I think about it, I do, you know, if we had to pick a theme, I would love to explore the yada yada, you know. I mean, card stacking brings with it so many different emotions. And I'd love to know, you know, yada yada, what do you think can be learned from card stacking that you can use in other aspects of your life?
I think humility, number one. Even the best of the best of mankind can fall down like a house of cards. Like, for example, the Titanic. The Titanic was one of the ultimate house of cards.
Ooh, interesting. The Titanic was very similar to a house of cards.
Hey, I had a question for you.
What's up?
I've been thinking about this a little bit lately, with all the controversy. And if we were to change our national anthem, which has happened before, what song do you think it should be?
What do you want the national anthem to be, David?
The Wii music theme.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and second that.
Wait, what theme?
Wii music.
Are we talking like... David, are you talking about the Me channel or the Shop channel?
Whichever one's the da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
I think that's the... Yes, that's the Me channel.
I
The
think
yada
that's
yada, we're gonna lock in the Me channel music.
Oh, that's interesting. I was thinking it had to be something with lyrical content, and at least in some way relate to the country. But I always thought
it sort of does because. I'm sorry. What were you gonna say?
Radiohead's national anthem is probably my favorite song called the national anthem. But I think a dark horse choice might be Party in the USA, which I think is a genuinely entertaining song. And I would stand up every time at a sporting event for Party in the USA.
You know, I would love to, if you would, yada yada, you know, I want to refute your earlier point. Well, your earlier 2 points that you made about, you know, first you said that the Wii music, that the Me Maker channel music does not have lyrics.
Yeah, and then I named an instrumental Radiohead song.
It goes bump, 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 bum, bump, bum, bum.
I would say that with the Me channel theme, the silence in between those musical phrases has a lot to say in itself.
See, it's a deep song, and it doesn't give itself away to you.
And what if a national anthem itself, like the very concept, is a house of cards? Because all nations of all superpowers eventually fail.
That's true. The United States could be a house of cards. That's what the show. That's why they call House of Cards House of Cards. Is because the government is a house of cards.
Oh, okay, in the chat, I like This Is America.
I also want to say the yada yada.
That is a fantastic song and would make an unbelievable national anthem.
I disagree that the Me channel music has nothing to do with America, because many people in America play Wii.
That is true. It is a Japanese system, though. That is a good counter argument.
That is a good counter argument. But it's
I will. The point you made about like having a song that is like a house of cards and represents it. So what I imagine that to mean is a song that starts has like these brilliant swells and crescendos, and then just all of a sudden it just it devolves into not musical tones but more like noise. I think that's like a brilliant concept for like a song. I think like there's a song that actually does that by Daft Punk called Contact, where it starts with like spoken word over backing instrumental, and then it just.
Oh, is that the final track on Random Access Memories?
That is the final track on Random Access Memories.
Okay, yeah, I love that track.
It's insane.
It really
Love
is. What about
Well,
the Radiohead song House of Cards? Do you guys have any feelings on that?
I've never heard that one before, so
neither
I do
have
not.
All right, that's off probably my favorite record of theirs, In Rainbows.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the yada yada. Thank you again for calling in, and I think maybe we should put it to a vote in the chat. Does the chat wanna? We should come up with two options. I think Dave and I will submit the Wii Me Maker channel music versus House of Cards by Radiohead. I'm gonna nominate and vote for the Me Shop channel music.
I would go with Party in the USA personally, but
That song does have killer guitar in it.
Well, the yada yada. Thank you for calling in and giving us this dilemma to ponder.
thank you for doing the show, and I think this is. I've been on like 3 times before, but this is my first time on Reddit, so that's
really?
kind of cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you made it.
I did. I finally arrived.
You finally arrived. You can quit everything else.
Yeah, and thank you to the person who said that I know my music. I like to think that I do.
Beautiful. All right, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Have a good night, you guys.
Good night. I am, you know, David, you're really kicking my ass here. I'm at 0. I'm trying to decide is it me or is it the table? Because, you know, look, you can only blame. I don't want to be like a Halo player blaming the lag or anything like that. You know, I want to be. You know, I want to take full responsibility for this.
I mean, I don't think it is your fault. Like, I think there's probably more things that you could do that could increase your chances, but they're like very small tweaking things. Like, definitely the surface puts you at a disadvantage, but I think there's a few things you could do.
Michael.
Oh, it's Michael again. Oh, sorry, man.
This is a different Michael, actually.
Oh, it's a different Michael. Oh, hold on. So, David, what were you saying? Michael, I want to finish hearing the rest of what David was saying about this card technique, because I'm very focused on this. But then I want to talk to you in a sec.
Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
don't be sorry at all, man.
That's good.
What were you saying, David?
So the one thing I will say, once you have that first layer done, when you have the card on top of it, when you have the bridge between the two mountains, what I would personally do is you can, because of the weight of the bridge, it kind of locks the mountains in place. You can adjust those mountains after you've built them, right?
Ah.
So the one that's like on the slant that's like lower, like towards the back of the chair, I would, once you have the bridge on, just take one finger on like each side of that mountain, and the one that's on the outside edge, just slowly bring that in to make it a little more narrow.
So I'm supposed to narrow it up a little bit.
Yeah, and what that will do is it'll make the next level more level.
Interesting. Have you ever stacked cards before, Michael?
I have. I've gotten to like the top layer and never put the pinnacle on it, you know. But
see, I can get about this far. What is your thing, Michael?
I'm sorry?
What is your thing?
I don't know, man. Kind of working on figuring that out. I didn't know I was into podcasts and geckos and card stacking until tonight, actually.
Well,
so
we're happy to have you here in the.
You know, you guys are awesome, man.
Thank you, dude.
By the
we
way,
appreciate that.
I threw out the Red Dead Redemption 2 soundtrack for the new national anthem. I think some people might back me on that. The music to that game is, I mean, just puts the soul at ease, you know?
The Red Dead Redemption soundtrack.
You ever played that game?
I've played Red Dead Redemption 2. I haven't played Red Dead Redemption 2. Dave, do you play video games, David?
The only video games I play are like Animal Crossing, Smash, and then like the old Pokemon games for Game Boy.
Okay, what about Westworld? Have either of you seen Westworld?
I've heard good things about that show, but I've never watched it.
So essentially, I'll just give it to you really quick. It's like this Disney World type, if you will, but it's all AI. And so imagine going to Disney World, but you walk in and it's this whole different world, and it's based in the Wild Wild West, and you know, you can go interact with these different people, different stories, whatever. That's essentially what Westworld is, and Red Dead Redemption 2 is like kind of the closest thing you can get to that, in my opinion. So it's a pretty cool game. But
is it like Assassin's Creed, where it's like it's the old stuff, but it's also new stuff?
What do you mean? Like historically speaking, or
like you know, is it like Westworld? Doesn't it take place in the future, but it's the past?
Right, yeah. So yeah, technology is definitely advanced to a point where we can have AI that you would have a hard time distinguishing between an actual human and, you know, building storylines into all of these and whatnot. But yeah, the actual story itself is kind of themed around like this, I don't know, Wild West era, you know, kind of before Western North America was really explored completely and whatnot.
Senzu OG U is telling me that everything I'm building is on a flawed base and I need to fix it immediately, and I'm kind of taking that, you know, on a couple different levels.
Bro, you're on a cushion there. I'm not watching anymore, obviously, on the phone, but if I remember correctly, aren't you kind of on like a cushion top, whereas David's got like the
David
surface?
went to the card stacking section of Dick's Sporting Goods and picked out the most expensive, professional grade card stacking table available, and I am using a stool with a uneven side.
I was getting a stool vibe from that. Is David, do you do this, or are you two both? I'm sorry, I don't know y'all's backstories or anything. I mean, like, is that like his hobby or something?
I mean, it is like a hobby that I do. It's not, I don't do it that much outside of streaming, right? I won't just come home and say, I'm going to build a house of cards by myself alone. I don't know. I feel like I do better when I have people watching me. It's also more enjoyable. I have people to interact with. It's not so much of like a lonely activity anymore.
See, what I like about the streams is that you've found a way to take an insular activity and make it into a social activity.
It's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. It's about as social as you can get when it's just looking at comments. But I labeled them as an AMA, so people can just ask whatever they want. But
Wait, Michael, is this your?
I 100% agree with that one. It's a pretty cool way to make a singular hobby a kind of social thing. So,
Thank you.
I like what you guys are doing. This is awesome. I'm surprised I ran into you guys tonight and actually dialed one time and got in. I heard a few people were like, man, I called 500 times. I'm like, let me give this a shot. And here I am talking to a Gecko and David.
Well, thanks, Matt. Have you seen either of our streams before? Or is this your first time?
Man. Never. Yeah, I was just chilling on Reddit. I was like,
Nice.
what's going on here? And here we are.
Well, damn, dude. We hope to see you in the future. You seem like
Oh,
a
yeah.
good bloke.
Sure. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Y'all too. Y'all have a good night.
Have a good night, Michael. Talk to you soon. Thank you for calling in, man.
Goodbye.
You're welcome. Thanks. Bye.
I'm on the last 2 levels.
You're on the last 2 levels, and then how many stories is that going to be?
That's going to be 9 stories.
Ooh,
So
that's
it's not
pretty
my
good.
fault, but it's enough that it's a challenge.
I'm pretty. So wait, if you look at where, I don't know if you can see what I've got going on right now, but this fell and I've restructured it into like, I don't know if you can see. There's a middle center card. Are there different architecture types to houses of cards, or is there only that one type? Can you build like?
I mean, absolutely, you can build it any way, like as long as it stands up, right? This is just the classic way of doing it, and it distributes weight in a very smart way. But I will say, what you can do now is, you can treat that as like something to put cards against, like as if you were to put walls on either side of it.
Ooh, so
And
like,
then-
oh crap. So like this kind of.
Exactly.
Ooh,
And if you
that's
do
sturdy.
If you do that, you can lay a card on top of it, since now there's enough points of contact to make the bridge like.
Interesting. Oh yeah, and then oh shit. Oh fuck. Dave, you're blowing my mind right now. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
just-
because then I can put a card.
It might be kind of tricky because the middle beam sort of sticks up a little bit, but I think it
Yeah.
will work.
The middle beam, see, yeah, the middle beam sticks up, but I guess my card will kind of slant. Ooh. Oh my god, I'm building a new type of house of cards right here.
Exactly. You're a
Interesting.
pioneer.
I'll open back up the line. Call in 401-472-GECK. Chat with me, chat with Dave. As we build these houses of cards. So I've got this now. And then how do I build on top of it?
Okay. This is where it gets a little tricky. So since you're only doing 2 layers, the one thing, when you put that top, when you finish the house of cards, that little mountain that's on the top is going to fall over inevitably. Mm-hmm. So it might fall over after 2 seconds. It might take a few minutes, but typically if it just stays up for half a second, I still count that as a win, as long as I'm not touching it and it stands for a little bit. So what you want to make sure is when you place the cards down, that card that's on top, that bridge, is not going to wobble, because that'll make it really hard for the weight to settle.
Yeah,
and you don't want
pretty wobbly.
You don't want it kind of shifting. So what you can actually do if you want is take that bridge off, and this might be kind of cheating, right? But if you take that bridge and you sort of bend it like this and make it like an arch, you can sort of go around that.
Okay, so I'm gonna here, you know what, why don't I try, let me see if this works.
It might be better if instead of doing it like this, you do it like hot dog style, make a hot dog bun.
Okay, let me try that. Hold on, I want to mess with something real quick.
Don't want to be too bad though.
Oh crap. All right, you can't see this, but I got this little gonna hot dog it. Wait, no, that's hamburgering.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't make it like too radical of a bend, just enough that it will circumvent the pillar in the middle.
Okay. Oh shit. You guys see that?
Did it work?
Yeah, it did. I've got a cute little stack here.
You made a little cut.
Nice. Yeah, I wish I could turn and show the camera, but it'll destroy the stack. See, so now I've got this like little arch.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what do I do with this arch?
So you're going to put the thing on top of it, right? Like the mountain? I'm not sure how you'd put it down on top of that. Other than, actually what you could do. So again, with the cards you're going to use to make the mountain, hot dog, bend those too, right? And that way, the bend of the cards will sort of hug the bend of the card you're placing it on top of.
Yes. Okay, so let me see if that works. I wish I could better show people what I'm doing. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
This thing is pretty sturdy.
They do get really sturdy. Like I can get really close to my tower and talk at it, and it won't fall over, as long as I don't like.
As long as you don't say anything mean.
Yeah, if I discourage it, then it'll get sad and fall. Sometimes I will talk to my cards, like on stream. I will tell them to not fall over, and sometimes that.
Now, David, in the process of building a stack of cards, do you consider the cards to be your friends or your enemies?
Not enemies. Just like, if I had to choose friends or enemies, I would say friends that you have to encourage and push in the right direction to get to a common goal. If I were to personify them.
So you're on the same team as your cards.
Yes.
I like that. You're on the same team toward a common goal.
Mm-hmm. It's sort of like how people who like, I don't know if like actual people who fight with swords do this, but they keep saying like the sword is an extension of your body. Don't think of it as a separate entity.
Ooh. You know, God, I say on this show all the time that I want to come back with that when I die, right? I want to be reincarnated as a small handful of ants. And people are always like, that doesn't make any sense. You can't be more than one of something. But in this situation, you are yourself, but you're also 52 other things.
54 if you count the jokers.
54 if you count the jokers. Wait, how many, okay, in 13 stories, how many cards is that? Is there an approximate?
So I'm doing 9 stories, but 13 stories, you need 5 decks of cards to complete that, including jokers.
5 decks of cards. I could not imagine getting through this entire deck.
It's a struggle.
I got frustrated with that.
Especially when they agree with each other.
Oh, shit. I just realized I thought the line was open, but it isn't. Call in 401-472-GECK. We got 17 minutes. Thank you for the helpful Mystery Money Man.
And that is the top of my card house.
Beautiful.
Hey.
Oh, my God. Look at this.
Ready for me to knock it down, or do you want me to leave it up?
What do you all right, so we were talking about this, and you actively get enjoyment out of knocking down your cards.
Yes. If you leave them standing like that for too long, they will fall on their own. But even if it like just falls by itself, it's like a waterfall, and like this, it's not a violent sound. It's like just a. and it's really nice to listen to.
Yeah, I like the... It almost reminds me of the sound of shuffling. Here, you know, I'm going to do some shuffling ASMR. Tell me if you... Dave, in the chat, X Extraordinary, good to see you again, wants to know if you play Jenga.
I get this question a lot, actually. I don't play Jenga regularly, but when I do, I am decent at it. I actually do a variation of Jenga, where if you know what a chess clock timer is, right? It's where in chess you have a certain amount of time to complete moves, right? When you finish a move, you hit the timer, and then the other person's clock starts counting down. I use that timer in Jenga. So it either ends when the tower falls down or when someone runs out of time. And that makes it really stressful and fast-paced. So...
You
I
ever played the Jenga iPhone game?
I've never heard of that, but
It's actually pretty similar to... I don't know how they were able to do it, but they got Jenga into the iPhone.
That's impressive.
Here, tell me if you can hear this, chat and David. Tell me if this is, you know... Did that sound shuffly?
I love the sound of shuffling cards. It is the best sound. I'll try to join you. Hold on.
Yeah, let's do it, dude. Let's do some shuffle ASMR. Call in 401-472-GECK. Ooh, nice. Someone in the chat is spamming an incorrect number for some reason.
Oh.
But that's okay. Because I love him. Or her.
Should I try a bigger card house?
Yeah, if you want to. Definitely into it. Call in 401-472-GECK. It would be cool to stack them and then light them on fire.
I have not thought about that. I would not do these because I love these cards, and I would never damage them.
Maybe I'll light mine on fire. I talked about eating them.
I saw that. You did talk about eating them.
Oh, this person just called. I'll call them back.
I've never seen someone eating a playing card, but I saw one of my friends eating his report card once in middle school.
Is your friend a dog?
He was not, no.
Ham Drescher. Geck, is David now part of the Therapy Gecko cinematic universe? The cinematic universe accompanies all his life. Oh, wait, crap. And as a member of life, yes.
Awesome.
Pamela Treasure. The people are calling for fire, but I don't think fire's calling for the people, you know?
Mm-hmm. I get that.
Corey.
To accept, press 1. To send...
Hey, Corey.
Yeah, man. What's up?
How's it going, Corey?
Good.
Tell me
How are
nothing.
you?
Tell us everything. Tell us nothing. Go crazy on us.
What's up?
You know, that's up for you to decide. That's what we're asking you.
I've just had a rather bad day, and I was looking for advice.
Well, we'll do our best to help you. What happened?
nothing in particular happened. It's just been a stressful day, you know. Sometimes things get out of hand and stress ensues. I tried to call in earlier and I kind of chicken-footed out, you know.
Were you the one who called in and said? Were you the one who hung up mid-call?
Yeah.
Well, we're glad that you called back. You know, we're always happy to hear from you.
Well,
why were you chicken-footing out? What was that come from?
What was that?
What made you decide to retreat?
I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time understanding you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Hello?
Now, Corey. Well, Corey, what made you... Something made you call, and then something made you hang up. And I want to know what those things are. Or were.
Well, I think I called because I've just been not enjoying my life very much. And so I wanted to be able to express that anonymously and, you know, kind of air that out.
What do you think... What do you think would make you enjoy your life more?
Well, certainly more time, more freedom, less stress.
What do you spend most of your time doing?
Either working or taking care of my mother.
Well, it's nice that you're taking care of your mom.
Yeah, it's nice. All right. Oh boy.
Thank you for the gold, Rinsler. If you, I mean, okay, let's say you had this freedom, right? What would you do with it? Like, what do you want to be doing that you feel like you don't have enough time to do?
In an ideal world where I was able to do whatever I wanted to do, I would just spend my time traveling and seeing new things. It's pretty cliche, and I acknowledge that, but that's what I would prefer to be doing.
There's nothing wrong with being cliche, you know? I mean, things are cliche for a reason.
Well, right, yeah, I totally agree with that.
Where would you want to go? Like, if you could go... Let's say there was no coronavirus, you had all the time in the world. Where would you go?
Well, I've been to several national parks in the United States, and so I'd like to sort of continue that journey. I'd like to see Yellowstone. I'd like to travel abroad. I've never been outside of the country, you know, so it would be interesting to experience different cultures and different ways of living.
Where abroad would you want to go? You ever been to Asia or Europe?
I would probably lean towards visiting Italy. I'd like to see Iceland.
Well, is there anything that you want to be doing that you think you could do now that isn't traveling? Because I guess, really, I mean, no one can travel right now.
You're right. No one could travel right now. I'm sorry. What was your question?
Someone is suggesting in the chat that you teach that you get a job teaching English. Does that sound exciting to you, or does that sound boring to you?
Well, I would be honest and say that it doesn't sound impossible to me. However, I don't think that my English is necessarily teachable. I don't feel like I'm equipped to be that sort of teacher that someone is suggesting.
Rinsler says that they know someone who teaches English on their laptop. Are you, Rinsler? Are you saying that it's easy? I don't know. I feel like, I mean, teaching English online, it seems like one of those things that, you know, it seems figure outable. You already know the thing that you're teaching. I would. What were you gonna say?
I don't know. It's like, can you? Is that like a thing you can do if you don't know another language? Can you teach someone who speaks another language English? Is that something they'd have to come in with English knowledge with, or is that?
Yeah, that would make. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Because, like, you know, let's say that you're teaching, you know, someone, you know, in you know, let's say you're teaching someone like in Spain English, you would have to be able to explain I mean, wouldn't that be crazy if like you walked into like 6th grade Spanish and your teacher exclusively spoke Spanish, you know?
I mean, I know in other countries it's like a different cultural thing where, like in America, we tend to not be bilingual, but in a lot of other countries, they start teaching English to children very young.
It's true.
So
I wish they'd taught Spanish to us when we were in like kindergarten or something.
that would be very useful.
Hey, Corey?
Hey, what's up, man?
What are you doing right now?
I am laying in bed, smoking a cigarette, just trying to relax.
Do you feel relaxed?
Not particularly.
Yeah, these are stressful times. Hey,
I'm
Gek,
sorry.
do you want more time here, or are we headed to Twitch? Says the yada yada. Yeah, we've got about eight minutes. David, do you think you'll head out at the end of the Reddit stream, or do you want to come along to Twitch? It's up to you.
I'm not sure. If I go to Twitch, will I just be able to just like stay on the call and then?
Oh, it'll be exactly the same as it is now, except we'll just be streaming to Twitch.
I can head on over.
Okay, sick. Someone wants me to stay here. I will stay for as long as we have time. But when we run out of time, we can go to Twitch. If you're interested in doing that, in continuing watching the stream after the time is over, you can head to twitch.tv/LyleForever.
Yeah. Could I interrupt and say that I am just really, truthfully, I'm having a very hard time with my life right now, you know, and nothing to say that I'm suicidal or anything like that, but I don't know how to cope with the daily give and take of with
Corey.
Hey, buddy.
Corey, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Have you gone to an actual therapist?
Yeah.
What did they tell you?
You know, the usual.
What's the usual?
Just that things improve over time and that with action that things tend to improve.
Well, this is true. Oh, crap. I lost David. If you're feeling suicidal, I think that you should call a suicide hotline.
No, I'm not at all. I am just a depressed, like, mid-20s man who would like to do different things in his life, and I don't know how to do that.
Well, first of all, someone in the chat, Sedata Princess, wants you to DM them if you want to talk more. No, I don't think I'm going to get sued. But, man, you know, I want to hear more about what your therapist said to you. Have you been taking what... Because it sounds to me like what your therapist, told you, it sounds to me like you didn't feel like you took a lot of value in it. When, I guess I would encourage you to try to find that value in it again, if that makes any sense.
If I'm being honest, I just look at, people like you, and you're doing something very... to start from the beginning, I think of myself as a rather creative person, and so I see you doing this creative act and acquiring attention, and it is inspiring as well. It is like, I am... I don't know, just see someone like you with this weird idea of the whole Therapy Gecko, right? It's weird, and I really like the idea, and you are inspiring people to reach out and talk about themselves, and you absolutely have a platform, and that's something that I don't feel like I could ever achieve. I don't feel like I have the creativity nor the resource to accomplish this kind of thing. I'm not the guy in the orange sweatshirt that can build a house of cards. I don't have a special skill, and I really, with my life, with my vision, my purpose, I would like to touch people. I would like to influence people, and I would like to show people that, even though it's hard sometimes, that things can be worked through. But I see people like you, I see people like, the Gecko guy, the House of Cards guy, and it's really difficult for me as an individual to really feel like I make an impact.
Well, have you tried streaming or tried... Well, I feel like this is kind of maybe what your therapist was trying to tell you, is that, I mean, by the way, I feel everything that you are saying to me is stuff that I have felt in my own life many, many times over. In fact, actually, it wasn't even really until recently doing this stream. I mean, I've been trying to, make stuff for 10 years. And it wasn't even kind of recently until I did this stream that I find something that was kind of working a little bit. So it takes a lot of time. But, I mean, even now, I don't fucking... But But do you feel like there's anything out there that might be, worth putting your effort into? And if you don't know it off the top of your head, I feel like the way to find it is to just keep putting effort in many different directions. Does that make sense? And I feel like if you're busy, like, worrying about or looking at other people, I used to go on, like, comedians or whatever's Wikipedia page, and I used to be like, how old was this person when they got successful? Or how old was this person when they, was doing this? And I would compare it to myself. And I used to do that all the time. I've stopped doing that because I kind of feel like I realize the truth is that it just doesn't matter. And I feel like any time that you're spending, like, comparing yourself to other people, I would encourage you to try to, accept that comparing yourself to other people won't help you in any way, and that you'll feel a lot better if you just start putting action into various places. And the more you do that, like, with more frequency, I feel like you'd eventually hit something. That's kind of what has happened to me recently. I've been trying to put effort in a lot of different directions. I'm sorry, Dave, were you going to say something?
I was just going to say, like, I'm sort of a similar situation where, like, it wasn't, like, I've been, like, trying, like, I had, like, a YouTube channel for a while and nothing was really taking off. And it was, I think, like, I've experienced points in my life, like, maybe, like, not as extreme, where I felt like I wasn't doing anything worthwhile and, like, nobody would want to, like, see what I was doing. And I think a lot of it came down to it's not that I didn't believe in myself, it's just like I didn't like what I was doing, like what I was. And I feel like if you start if you focus on yourself, then people will start focusing on you as well. That has been my experience. So as long as you are happy with who you are and, like, what you are doing, as long as it makes you happy, and if it makes one other person happy, then that is, like, an accomplishment on its own. And it may not feel like that at first, but once you do that, you can build upon that and start making an impact on more people than just one person.
I like that. And to add to that is, like, I feel like, I don't know if this is related, but I feel like inspiration, people think that inspiration leads to action, but it's action that leads to inspiration. So, like, if you, and especially on just, like, fucking RPAN, when, like, you can stream anything and people will watch, I mean, like, if you were to go live and start doing something, you'd eventually find one person who would be into what you're doing. And if there's one person who's into what you're doing, that means that there's thousands of people that could potentially be into what you're doing. They just haven't found it yet, And I think that one person, if you put enough effort out there, you will find that person, that first person who's kind of into what you're putting out, and that'll inspire you to keep going. I don't know if that makes sense.
That totally me. This is Corey speaking, and I really appreciate that.
Corey, can you say what you were saying again? We kind of lost you.
This is Corey, and I am just saying that, putting yourself out there and being receptive to whatever anyone has to say, or, just putting yourself out there in general is a really great device to make yourself heard, whether or not people really like you or not is irrelevant, and just being heard is important.
And I kind of like going back to what I feel like your therapist is trying to tell you. The only way to be heard is to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
Corey, man, you know, I hope this was helpful. I'm glad that I'm happy that you felt comfortable calling in and getting this off your chest.
Dude, it's a great experience to be able to vent and have sort of platform to kind of, be me and express my feelings without any sort of judgment or anything like that. Even therapists are subject to judging the people that they're treating. So just being able to talk about my feelings is really valuable to me. And I appreciate you taking the time to acknowledge my feelings.
Absolutely, man.
It's never a bad thing to vent.
Corey, I think try I mean, anything, if it felt good to speak and to be heard, try using one of the many platforms that there are in this beautiful year of 2020 to to speak, or whether it's RPAN or TikTok or whatever it is. Put yourself out there and give yourself an opportunity to be heard in the first place.
Well, I understand where you're coming from, but you've got this creative and such a beautiful way of expressing yourself, with the costume, with the face makeup. You've got, you just.
But don't think about what I've got. I want to know what you've got. You know what I'm saying? What do you have? And by the way, this costume, this makeup, this is all. Look, I've been making stuff for 10 years, and all this stream is like a month old. So it takes a long time. I feel like you gotta like mine what's in you to find that out. You know what I'm saying? And the only way to do that is to just keep putting forth action.
Like, what do you like? The people that know you, like your loved ones and your friends, what do they like you? What is something that you do that interests them? Lost it for a second.
Corey?
Hello.
Hey, did you hear what we said?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's on a bit of a delay when orange sweatshirt guy speaks. It takes a bit of time for me to hear what he says.
You want to say that again, David?
I was just asking, like, what do your loved ones, like people who know you, what about you, like, interests them? What is something you do that brings them joy?
What could I do that brings my loved ones joy?
He wants to know. I don't know if you can hear me well, but he wants to know, like, what do you think other people, your friends, your family, people who are close to you. Tell me if I'm says. He wants to know what do people who are close to you. What do you think they might have to say about what is unique about you, and how can you use that to inform, what you're gonna put out?
Well, I don't know. I can't speak for anyone other than me, of course. And I think that at best, I have some musical ability,
Nice.
and that's sort of what I would like to lean on with my influence on others. And it's not anything special, I would just, if I had to make a decision today, my decision would be to use my power or, I don't know. I don't know. If I could use my decision or influence in any way, it would be to positively influence other people.
That's a start. That's a goal.
What musical instrument do you play?
I'm sorry, someone, I think the other streamer just asked a question I couldn't understand.
David asked what musical instrument you play.
I play most musical instruments. I play guitar, bass, drum. I play trombone, saxophone.
Whoa, you that's a shit ton of instruments. That's like you're like a one-man band.
No, I'm not.
You're more of a one-man band than I am.
Well, have you ever thought about, I feel like, man, dude, you're first of all, all this stuff. Have you ever tried, look, if you're watching my stream and you watch David's stream, and you're like, oh, it'd be cool to do a stream, it'd be cool to have people, hearing you. Well, you should try streaming music on, Reddit sessions or r/the show. I mean, like, even if it's something you've never done before that you're very nervous to do, I mean, if you can find it in yourself to take that leap to just press play, and maybe like 3 people, 1 person, whoever will join your stream, but that'll give you motivation to do it again. I mean, that's David. I don't know about you, but that's how my stream started. Is I was dressed up as a freaking gecko, and there was like 3 people in the stream, but then those 3 people, well, 2 of them hated me, and then 1 person said it was a nice thing, and then they just keep going from that.
Yeah.
That's kind of back what I was saying with the action leads to inspiration, because you have to put yourself out there first, and then you'll start getting positive feedback that'll make you want to keep doing it. I think you should at least try it.
It's difficult to put yourself out there in the way that you 2 are doing, and you both know that, card stacking is a very niche and obscure sort of entertainment.
But that's a good thing, you got to find what yourself is unique,
And dressing like a gecko is very obscure, and I really appreciate like the value of the entertainment that you are providing for people who don't even really know you. Like, even I'm a random caller, and you don't know me and I don't know you, and just for the sake of you being so honest with me, it's very uplifting.
I'm happy to hear that, man. I hope this was. See, someone in the chat just said watching someone pick up like 5 different instruments on one stream would be amazing. I agree. I think I mean, I'm always a fan of actionable, of kind of walking away from conversations like these with actionable steps, and I know there's a giant hurdle of putting yourself out there between you and going live, but try to focus all your energy on getting past that hurdle. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, all we can do is try to be the best us, right?
And exactly, and I agree with what Sedated Princess is saying, that instead of focusing on the gimmick aspect of people tuning in because of the sort of the gimmick, it's about kind of being yourself, and this is very cliche and very trite and a huge platitude, but I think it's true is that I actually do believe, though, even though it's a platitude, that nobody can be you, only you can be you. So you gotta, kind of mind that until you get to something that is you, because only you can do that. I can't even do that. David can't do that. Only Corey can be Corey.
I really appreciate that. I'm just calling in, so I don't even know what the stream looks like or what the comments are. Just kind of trying to talk myself through what is a difficult time.
Well, man, we appreciate you calling in and trusting us enough and being comfortable enough to share this with us all, man. And
Hey man, you're the advice gecko, so who else can I trust?
Who knows? Well, man, I hope you have a good rest of the night, and don't discount the things your therapist is telling you, because it sounds like they've got a point.
Hey, I appreciate your honesty and your advice and everything else that you've shared with me. And to all of the people listening, if there's any, have a nice night.
You too, man. Take it easy.
Good luck.
Bye, Dave.
Good night, man. Yeah, I agree. I agree that I agree with what the chat is saying about those instruments. That it would be a good stream to see someone play all those different instruments. I think we're gonna go to Twitch. David, is that cool with you? All you have to do is stay on the Skype call. I'm gonna quit out of RPAN and go to my other streaming software that should be able to pick you up.
Yeah, that's good. I have like 35% left in my laptop, so I'll just keep going till it runs out or something.
Sweet. All right, if you are watching this right now, make a new tab. If you are watching this, I will answer that call when we switch over. But if you are watching this right now, I want you to go to, I'll type it in the chat. And I agree, Johnny fucking Hobo, that was a good call. Shouts to Mitch. Shouts to Corey. Thank you. Twitch.tv/Lyle Forever. Shouts to Corey for coming in, being honest. Honesty is always appreciated in our callers. Dishonesty is appreciated when it's funny. Twitch.tv/Lyle Forever. Go there right now. Make a new tab, and we will be there. And we will be taking calls. All right. Twitch.tv/Lyle Forever. Make a new tab. Go there right now, and we will see you soon.